SAFC Fan TV, Steve. Just about got over the line. Bit of a half-hearted display, particularly in the first 45 minutes. But second half, it was all about getting the job done and getting over that finishing line. And we managed to get there, and we'll take the 3 points massively today.
Sorry, it was a bit cut off at the beginning there, mate. Sorry, I didn't quite hear you. It was me. My Wi-Fi was a bit dodgy. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I was just saying. Performance today, a little bit all over the place at times, particularly in the first half. But when you do show, when the team puts in a performance like that, it's all about just getting over that finishing line, and we'll take the 3 points any day.
Oh, 100%. Like I said, the performance was nowhere near where we would expect to be. Obviously, when the team sheet came out, it was over the moon that Scowen was in there. And obviously, Leadbitter had a great game against Oxford last weekend. So I knew he was going to retain his place. It was when I saw Charlie White up front, I was like, surely Danny Graham or Will Grigg is going to be in there above him. That's just obviously my personal opinion. But he didn't show a lot today. But like I say, you said there are 3 points, not playing very well, but still getting the 3 points, which I suppose last year or the year before, the 0-0, the draw would have been there.
Yeah, I mean, when Denver Hume won that penalty, my heart was pounding seeing Grant Leadbitter going up to take it. I thought Lyndon Gooch would have taken the ball straight away, but fair play to Grant, just showing calm and composure to just rifle it into the bottom corner like that.
Oh, 100%. To be honest, I walked away. I came back to watch I walked away. I was like, my heart can't take this. I can't go through this.
Did you think he'd miss?
No, I thought he would score, but I couldn't take, just in case the keeper made a great save or just something like that, so I watched the penalty, I walked away, then I came back, I had to watch it. And obviously, when he smashed it, excellent penalty taker though. It was a fantastic penalty.
Brilliant strike.
The keeper went away, but it was a fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to the other end of the pitch, our bloke in between the sticks, Lee Burge. I mean, it's another clean sheet, but at times, I don't know, there's just a few not very good signs, particularly from like his handling, that is a little bit worrying at the moment, particularly in the first half where I think he parried 2 shots right back into like play for a chance for Peterborough to put the ball in the net.
Yeah, that's it. Like you just said there, that ball, well, obviously the shot, and it just came out. And then, to be honest, I'm not sure who that player was. He should have scored.
Clark Harris.
Let's be fair. He should have put that away. Thankfully, he didn't. But obviously, thankfully, he didn't. But to be fair, he should have scored. But it was one of the other ones. Well, I think it was the second half. It was the free kick thing to us. He's just kicked it under no pressure. It was our free kick, and he just put it straight out.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. I mean, McLaughlin used to do that as well, but I think the difference is when you notice, particularly the times when they had corners today, you know where John McLaughlin is in all the bodies because he just stands out massively. With Lee Burge, it's hard. I know he's obviously wearing a different kit, but it's just hard to pick out where exactly he is and how he's going to show desire to come and collect that ball. It's just a little bit on eggshells at times, but credit is where it's due. It is another clean sheet. But that performance overall, there's still plenty to work on going into the games we've got coming up.
Oh, 100%. There's before, plenty to work on. But just going back to the keeper, obviously, when we had McLaughlin, it was different. Obviously, I never felt uneasy. I was when corners or free kicks were coming in, you always pretty much knew that he was going to come out and command his box well. With Burge, he doesn't really do that as well. I know that there's a height difference. I know he's a lot smaller than McLaughlin, but still just that keeps you a little bit on edge. But obviously, going back to your point about going forward, unbeaten, last 2 games we've had 2 clean sheets, haven't played the best. Is the best yet still? Is the best still to come?
Hopefully, fingers crossed. But this is our 3rd game of the season now, and still none of our strikers. I mean, potentially you could class Chris Maguire as part of that. But sometimes, even though he plays in behind, none of our main forwards have scored this season. But hopefully, that's an issue that Phil Parkinson will address as the games go on, because we have to find a way for the strikers to chip in with goals this season, because it's just looking too similar to the way how we ended the last campaign, with more threat coming in from the wide areas of the pitch.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't think any of the forwards have scored a single goal yet, have they? Yeah, they haven't. I know pre-season and that's the Cheddar Trade Trophy thing.
Yeah, to take out. I mean, in the league this season, but
obviously the league only. It is a bit worrying. Obviously, you've got 4 strikers there and still it's been 3 different games in 3 different strikers. Obviously, went with Charlie White today, which for me was the wrong choice. Last game he went with O'Brien and Danny Graham, and the first game he went with O'Brien and Will Grigg. So I don't think Parkinson himself knows his best forward line yet.
Yeah, hopefully he can get the right decisions as the big games we have, because it's just so vital, particularly in this league, that you do get off to a decent start. And we've picked up more points than what we had in the first 3 games of last season. So right now, we'll take it. But like I've said to many other people tonight, particularly on social media, this is a platform to work on. Anyway, Steve, quick one. Who was your man of the match today?
Oh, toss up between Ledbetter and Hume.
If you have to give it to one.
If I had to give it to one, we'll give it to Ledbetter. So I think he's had a lot of stick from me personally as well. I've given him a lot of stick. I thought personally he was done coaching role, but he's pretty much come back and said, look, to the people or the people who's given stick, so there's 2 fingers. I'm still here and still play the ball, which to be honest, another good performance by him today, and sticking up for the penalty as well, and the way he put it away, I would definitely let Ledbetter man of the match if I had to pick one between him and Denver.
Okay. Cheers, Steve.
Okay, cheers, mate.
SAFC Fan TV, I'm back with Keith all the way from Texas in America. Keith, a win's a win. It was nerve-wracking at times, particularly towards the latter stages of the game, but 3 points is all that matters.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's when I saw the team sheet this morning, when I saw Wyke's name on the team sheet, I couldn't figure out what was going on, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? He hasn't really shown much. But it just seemed like we were just ready to just throw the ball forward, which was surprising. But I mean, like you said, a win's a win. I mean, a PK, I'll take it. We got to find some goals from somewhere.
Yeah, true. We just lack a lot of firepower up front at the moment, and our strikers are just, I would say, lacking in confidence. I have faith that things can turn around for them as the season goes on, but right now that's an issue we need to address. Keith, it's looking very sunny over there once again. You with the shades on. Where are you at the moment? What are you doing?
Yeah, we're at the lake. So I'm if you can see, we're
you got a boat there?
We're lake living. Yeah. Sitting on the boat. We're sitting at hang on, am I upside down?
I think you'll need to turn yourself around.
Yeah, something.
There we go.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the lake enjoying it. I think we're at like 85, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's it's definitely different than what y'all are experiencing.
Yeah, it's been a bit nippy here in England today, I think.
Yeah, I saw all the pictures on Twitter. Everything's all like rainy and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I wish I was watching a Sunderland game in your environment right now. It would definitely put me less on edge. But that's a huge result today, considering the way we played. And if you take into account how we started last season, we've picked up more points, 7 points from 3, and also 2 clean sheets as well. Like Bailey Wright in that back 3 is just the heart and soul of the team. And with him with the captain's armband today, just so much, just so much leadership there was.
And that's the thing that's surprising is how well the defense is playing. You know what I mean? That was a struggle last year for us, and it's kind of a positive this year. You know, I mean, we gave up 60-something goals last year, something like that, 40-something goals. I mean, it was just it was bad. And so for us not to give up those kind of goals this year already, at least 3 games in, against some, I mean, we were thinking we were only going to pull, 10 or 12 points out of the first 4 or 5 games, you know, I mean, and so to start with the way we are, I mean, I can't complain about it, you know, as long as it stays up. I mean, Peterborough should be in the top 6 easy, I would think. And so to get those kind of results, I mean, it's not Ipswich, right? But to get those kind of results, it's not bad.
Yeah, but in the first half, though, particularly, was it Dembele for them? It was like a knife through butter.
Yeah.
We just couldn't handle him at all.
Yeah.
And like I've said to you before, when we come up against players with a lot of pace, we just massively struggle right now to deal with that. And that's another issue that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. And I think that might be that's where the salary cap might help us. I don't know that there's going to be as many teams that have the top pace because we can't afford top pace in League One with the salary cap. You know what I mean? You've got some teams that have it, but from the highlights that I've looked at, there's not a lot of pace in League One. And so that might come to our advantage, but you're right. I mean, we can't handle pace. We didn't handle it against Bristol, and it was hard to handle it there at the start of the game today.
Yeah. Also, we hope Chris Maguire coming off today that it's not as serious as we fear, because for me, he's always the first man on the team sheet. When the ball falls to any of our players that finds a bit of space in the box, you put your money most on him hitting the back of the net. And hopefully it isn't too serious. But like we said, a huge 3 points. But right now, that performance needs to be a platform to build on.
Yeah, if Maguire's out for any amount of time, it could change the outlook of our season. You know, it might be going from a top 2 to a top 6 kind of spot, depending on how long he's out. So hopefully this isn't going to be something that is long term. But I mean, it didn't look good.
No. Anyway, Keith, I hope you enjoy the rest of your sunny afternoon over in the States on that boat. Anyway, greetings from here over.
Y'all are welcome. Y'all are welcome anytime.
I can't wait to come over.
The accent.
Oh,
you got a chance.
You have to teach me some American phrases as well. Anyway, Keith, top man. Have a good afternoon. SAFC Fan TV, Johnny. A win's a win. I mean, a bit scrappy at times. Our passing was poor, particularly in the first half. It improved a bit in the second period, but it's a better start than what we had under Jack Ross at the beginning of last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it wasn't the greatest of performances, I have to say, but sometimes the mark of a decent team is winning a game when you don't necessarily play well. I think keeping a clean sheet again was good. We struggled going forward. But at the end of the day, it's about getting 3 points early in the season. And like you say, we've got 7 points out of a possible 9, which is a good return. Better than I think, what was it, 5 points after the first 3 games last year. So pleased that we got the win, but we need to improve performance-wise, I think.
Yeah, particularly, I mean, our crossing in the first half was just so lacklustre. I mean, even though I remember it was right on half-time, the moment where Jordan Willis did put a decent ball in, and Charlie Wyke, he was in the starting lineup today. You would have thought that you've got to show more like desire to get your head on the ball, and just we never looked like scoring a goal. And I think we needed to get to half time to have a motivational team talk in order to put in a better performance in the second period.
Yeah, I think you definitely agree with you about Charlie Wyke. It was frustrating because obviously we're putting balls in towards him, but he's got to do more. Obviously physically he needs to be challenging more, putting himself about a little bit more. And yeah, he's tall, like he's tall, so you'd like to think he'd have more of a presence in the air. I think Denver Hume did put some decent. He did quite well on the left, getting past the fullback a few times, put some balls over. But if you've got no one on the end of it, then it's all to no effect. So it's interesting to see who's going to be the main striker. I have to think after today's performance, I don't think Wyke really did his chances any good. So it was frustrating, and he didn't really look like scoring. Like you say, if he's not getting on the end of anything, it's a bit worrying in the forward areas.
Yeah. Would you feel sorry for Will Grigg right now? The fact that he was left out again today. Surely you reckon considering how promising he looked in pre-season, I think his fitness looked a lot better as well. Do you think he will offer a lot more, surely, than Charlie Wyke in the starting 11 at the moment?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, Greig he has had a relatively good pre-season. It is a bit strange how, obviously he started him in the first, in the Hull game and the first league game. Obviously, it's strange how then he's not even been coming off the bench. He's not come off the bench today. I think Parkinson likes to play with more of like a target man type striker, which Greig isn't really that man. But like you say, if White continues to put performances in like today, it really is difficult to justify him starting. And I think I still think he's learning what his best side is. And obviously brought Danny Graham on, who didn't really do a lot when he came on, albeit he wasn't on for so long. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if Greig, surely next week, he'll at least come off the bench. And then I don't know who you'll start up in the main position, but it really is a place that's up for grabs at the moment.
I guess though it goes back to the debate where, do we blame the strikers for not getting goals at the moment, or do we look at the creativity we have, particularly from our midfield playing behind? I mean, on that right-hand side, Jordan Willis and Luke O'Nien, they were making like overlapping runs on each other at the wrong times, I thought. But on the other side, that Denver Hume, I thought he was our best player today. Certainly improved on the cross in front. And I think if he continues to put in balls like that, particularly some of the ones that he put in the second half, I think we'll see a lot more of him in the next few weeks.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with you about Hume being I think he definitely was our best player today. And even, I think he's one of our only players who really will run at anyone with the ball. And it's kind of, we've won the penalty today. So he took a risk. He tried to run at someone. All right, I know he kind of overran the touch a little bit, but sometimes by taking a risk, that's what's won us the penalty. He got past his man a few times in the full, down the left-hand side. So I do agree with you about the creativity is a major issue. I think Gooch was a bit disappointing today. Obviously, he scored a goal last week, didn't do a lot. Obviously,
he was playing in the middle though, wasn't he, Gooch? Which I didn't get second half. I mean, you're not going to get the best out of Linden when you're playing him in the middle of the park.
Yeah, definitely. He needs to be further forward. He needs to be further forward towards, like, his pace is one of his real assets, and he's dribbling, so he should be further towards the strikers. Really, he shouldn't be having to try and do things from deep. And I thought, obviously, Maguire got injured. I didn't really think O'Brien did particularly well, but obviously, I think we've got to give him a chance. It's only his first few games, so it's trying to find his best position. Is he best further forward? Does he want to be on the side or just off the striker? So I think they're definitely learning they're still learning what the best options are up front and who should be playing where, but that'll develop in the next few games. We'll see what the best starting 11 is.